as well as the founder of Safexpay, Ravi Gupta. Thanks very much for joining both of you.
Thank you.
So let's start with payments. You know, a couple of years ago, it just wasn't a sexy word, payments, but I cannot tell you, and you know this better than anyone, that post-pandemic, all we want is faster, more seamless, safer, digital payments. We want to pay from any device, whether it's the phone, the watch, and we want our data protected and we want it to be secure. So tell us first of all, Ravi, about your company.
Sure.
What do you do?
Yeah. So we as a Safexpay, what we do, basically we are a fintech company which powers platform and the API infrastructure play for the businesses across the globe. So what we have done is we have created different fintech products, right? The first product we have is the payment aggregation platforms, neo-banking platforms, and the link-based payment solution platform. We white label these technologies and we give it to banks, NBFCs, merchants, government, education institutions across the globe. So that's what we do.
How many countries?
Currently we are into 5 countries, right? And we are just into the operation from 5 years. We haven't raised much of the funding, but we are profitable fintech, right? So that's the thing which we do.
Excellent. And tell us a little bit about how digital payments are penetrating within India, first of all, and how does that compare with other parts of the world?
So I think the digital payments, if we talk about in India, it's growing pretty fast. Like that's happened because of post-pandemic, right? The experience, what is important for the payments? So first is the experience, second is the convenience, and third is the security, right? So once the COVID happened, right, the people adaptation from typically making the payments using cash, it's been moved from a digital mechanisms, right? So UPI is one of the innovation which India did, right? Which because of that we are able to scale pretty much faster in terms of adoption of payments, right? If you talk about UPI, we are able to grow almost 3 times the transaction volumes in the last over a period of 3 years. And the economy of India, which is basically right now it's around 3 trillion economy, more in terms of digital payments, is going to grow to 10 trillion, right? In next 3 to 4 years. So we believe like if any kind of a payments form factor has got an experience for the consumers, and that particular form factor is working in any of the devices or any of the form factor, right? It's going to grow.
Interesting. Yeah. Actually, you're seeing it accelerating now, even as we face a downturn, a global potentially recession. We see concerns coming from the U.S., concerns ongoing with China. Do you still see the demand continuing to grow for you, Rob?
Yeah, so demand is continuing to grow. Like if you talk about, there are lots of emerging countries which are there, right, where they are looking for ready-made fintech platforms because they want to convert the experience of the consumer from your offline to the online world, right? For which they need a ready-made platform. So if any kind of a fintech, any kind of a company, they are looking for building up any of the platforms, they're going to take some time. Like the company like us come into the picture, right, and they give the ready-made platforms, right, and which they can use it and start collecting all the digitization of the payments. That's what we feel.
Let's talk about how artificial intelligence impacts what you do within payments. How much of what you are doing and building and changing is impacted by the movements and changes within what AI can do and accomplish?
So I think AI is more of basically predicting the behavior of the customer, right? So what we are gonna do as a part of payments, like if you go, let's talk about experience. A customer is going to buy the product, but he don't have the limits available on the cards, right? You can offer with the help of his experience, like what are the kind of trading history he has got. You can offer some kind of a BNPL, right? Or maybe some kind of a digital lending kind of a thing, which will help the customers to buy more of the products. That is one part. Second is AI can also help lots of e-commerce sites or lots of banks or other things, like to pre-position the customer depending on his buying behavior, are different cross-selling the products. That's what I believe, right?
Ravi, talk about how you're really shaking things up. You're working on how you can pay with your face, and also even beyond that, how we can pay for things within the metaverse.
Yeah, so very recently what we did is like we have invested into a fintech company which is based in Europe, right? Which is going to basically innovate the way we pay, right? So right now we have seen the payment through your cards, payment through your UPI channel, you pay payment through your QR code. very recently we have invested into a company where you can make the payments using your face, right? So you can basically you don't require any kind of a phone or any kind of a wallet. You can just walk down to any of the stores and can make the payments. So that's the thing which we have invested, and we want to launch it for the markets like of UK, for the markets like of UAE and
When's
India.
that coming? When's that coming?
We are doing some of the pilots in India, right, with one of the airport, right. Plus, we are also doing some of the pilots in UAE with the stores like of IKEA, yeah. So we are expecting maybe like around 2 months it will be going live for these markets. It's already live in Europe, which is Romania, where it's already live, and we are seeing a lots of payments. The way the people are paying making the payment is going to change, where you just walk down to any stores and just show your face and the payment is done.
Interesting. What about the metaverse as well? I know you're working on that.
Yeah, so this is another concept which we are trying to disrupt the market, right? The way we shop into the world, right? Right. So what we do right now, if you see, the COVID has basically is the enabler for lots of innovations. If you see, right. So what happens, like if you see pre-COVID days, right? The people used to go to the mall, right? They see the product, they see the product specification, they buy the product, right? And they make the payment either through the cash or through the POS, right? So what we're trying to create another innovation in the space of basically which is we call as the experiential commerce, right? So what's going to happen in that, right? You can go into a extended reality kind of a thing, right? Where it's a mix of AR plus a VR and a payments, right? You can log into the metaverse, a mall kind of a thing, right? Where there will be different stores, right? You can walk down to that. You can convert yourself into yourself as an avatar. That technology will measure your weight, height, all those specifications, right? You can get into a mall. You can go to any of the shops. You can buy the products. You can see the specification of the product that is happening with the help of blockchain. Even you can add that product into the cart, and also you can make the payments, right? So that's the kind of experience we are trying to build up, and
But not with crypto yet.
So it's not a crypto, it's basically a blockchain technology which we are using here, right? We don't want to talk about any kind of a crypto here because it's like a experiential, which is like a virtual world with a payments kind of a thing, right?
Interesting.
Yeah. So that's the other thing which we are building it up, and we are expecting it will be live in next 2 to 3 months.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Impact on this issue around inclusion. We know 50% of the world is on the internet. That means that 50% is still yet to join. Right. Although I think the statistics are actually better in India, 750 million having access. But give us some idea of the impact that you are both having in terms of the numbers of people that, for example, couldn't pay before online, or the numbers who couldn't have built an app online. Tell us what you've done.
So I think like if you talk about 10 years back, the digital payment was very nascent in India, right? Maybe like not even 1% of the population were paying online, right? Which is because I started my journey somewhere in 2008 after finishing my MBA, and I joined a fintech company. No one was doing the digital payment at that time, right? So the penetration was less than 1%. Now today, if you see some of the numbers, like after your COVID, it's been moved to 40% kind of a penetration, right? Because of course it is not the COVID, but also there is an intervention from the governments, right? Where they keep on launching some of the kind of innovation in terms of offers, in terms of making the payments free, right? Where the people don't go and go to any kind of ATMs to withdraw the cash. They can make the payment using one of the innovation, which is like UPI, right? Where they can just make the payments using different UPI apps. That is the kind of innovation which is, and I think this number, which used to grow like of around 25 to 27% at a CAGR rate, right? It's because of COVID, this growth has been changed from 25-26% to 40% kind of a thing. And right, and this digital payments overall scenario is going to grow at least 3 times in next 4 to 5 years. That is the kind of growth we are expecting. Yeah.
Extraordinary.